Buddy, everybody.
Go. 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 Here. Go. Here. Yeah. Go.
Here is a retirement fail. I'm a little embarrassed that I'm even mentioning it. I escaped the grind after losing my job last year, and I thought I left the conflicts of the office at home. And yet I just got dragged back into probably the most toxic cesspool on the internet. And I'm talking about Facebook. Back in 2019, after years of watching a perfectly good app transform into a war zone of social and political drama between family and friends, I pulled the plug. It caused me some anxiety to even do that because I was on it for 10 years and it was an important part of life, but I couldn't take it anymore. I officially deleted my account. I was tired of friends getting ultra sensitive over simple banter that used to be fun, tired of acquaintances attacking me over harmless memes or just a few words that you don't have any mean intention to them, but they put their own meanings to them, and all the misunderstandings over, a few words and a few texts, even using capital letters, it was a big deal. It was like people perceived that you were shouting at them. I was just tired of the doom scrolling anxiety. So for nearly 10 years throughout my time living in Thailand, I had absolutely nada to do with it. It was glorious. If people asked to connect, I would proudly say to them, I don't have an account. And I thought I was free of that. I thought I won the game, but early retirement has a funny way of checking your ego. So what changed? Decoupling from my job and moving to Laos. That's what changed. When I found out I was losing my job and transitioning to early retirement, I ran headfirst into a harsh logistical reality. In Southeast Asia, Facebook isn't just a place where your aunt posts pictures of her cats. It is an infrastructure of daily life here. Businesses use it, groups use it, and it's the way people get information. It's the modern day yellow books in some ways. If you want to find out how to handle a visa renewal, find a specific medical clinic, figure out how to fix something, or even more importantly for me, buy and sell things like furnitures or cars or gym accessories. You don't go to Google, you go to Facebook groups. It's the easiest and fastest way to get information and to do what you want to do. In Vientiane, there are hundreds of Facebook groups. There are like 10 different buy and sell Facebook groups for Laos itself. At first, I tried to be a freeloading passenger on my wife's account, and it worked to a degree while I was living in Thailand because I didn't really need it and I wasn't selling anything, but it wasn't that convenient even though I barely needed it. But navigating my retirement setup through her profile started causing some glitches for her and for me. And honestly, it just wasn't fair to be using her account to do my business. She keeps in touch with friends and family. I needed my own tool. I thought I'd be clever and set up a new account using a fake name but my real email address. Turns out Mark Zuckerberg's AI algorithms are very, very smart. Facebook instantly flagged me and completely locked me out, banning me from creating a new account on that email address for 9 months. I was actually using AI chat to help me find ways to get around it. It gave me options, but nothing worked. So I said, fine, Mark Zuckerberg, you're not going to get me. Yet I see profiles out there that are clearly not real names. Some of them even anonymous, and some of them posting nonsense. But here's me, not trying to be deceitful, but just to be a little anonymous. I get sent to digital prison trying to be an alias. Go figure. So fast forward 9 months, late last year, shortly before we were coming back to Laos, it was becoming more and more necessary for me to be on Facebook to make the transition back here because I didn't know how to live here as a civilian. My organization always took care of everything for me wherever I lived. So things were going to be completely different, and I didn't know how to live here in Laos as a civilian. Fast forward 9 months, I try again, and this time I just bypassed the warnings and successfully set up a bare bones account. I used my real name, no friends, no family, no profile pictures. Purely a utility account to look at marketplace listings and expat groups. That's it. Once in a while you'll get this, do you know this person? Do you know this person? No, not interested, not interested, not interested, not interested. I've seen half my family show up. I click the same thing. Not interested, no connection. Mark Zuckerberg already knows too much. He's not going to know about my family if I can help it. So when I got on, I expected to see a few ads. Facebook makes its money from advertisement. It's just one big newspaper, magazine. And I was surprised to see how little to nothing really changed on the interface. What is he doing with all his billions of dollars? It looks almost the same that it was 10 years ago. But what was new was a total digital horror show. I'm a grown man and I've seen a lot. I'm not naive and I'm certainly no saint. But the absolute smut garbage that immediately flooded my brand new feed was unbelievable. Things that I assume could only be found on the dark web or possibly in some seedy stores only found in dark alleys in the big city. It was right there on my clean, unprompted homepage. I was genuinely nauseous and embarrassed and ashamed. I was like, this can't be freely available on here like this. There must be a way to report this. Does Facebook even know that this is there? I'm talking about stuff I have never seen in my life before. I've seen some things, but I have never seen anything like this before. This is stuff that you hear comes straight out of German perverted pornography. You cannot believe it. I eventually found the option to report obscene material. It's on the ... and then you have to click on there and then you have to go and find it. It's not that easily available. I clicked the submit button on the video expecting the system to clean it up and said it would eventually get back to me after it's been assessed. 2 days later, I got a message from Meta saying, we've reviewed the content and found no violations. I appealed it 3 separate times. The response, we know this may disappoint you. We don't find anything violates our rules. It was eye-opening. They don't care. Here I'm trying to open an account as an alias. Nothing fake. I'm a real person. Just trying to stay a little more anonymous. And here they're letting this stuff freely flow on there. This has to be available to kids, I would imagine. Half the population in the world, 350 billion people, are using this. They will do anything to keep you on the app, even if it's completely immoral. Here's what I think the real lesson is for anyone navigating these algorithms, and I think the machine is testing you. Because I fully debated on deleting my brand new account because I didn't even want to know it's there. And by having an account, I feel complicit. So over the next few weeks, I noticed that the trash started to disappear or become less and less and less. Why? Because the algorithms track human behavior with precision. It knows if you pause, if you look at a video for 3 seconds, or if you immediately flick past it. If you take the bait, it will feed you the whole hook. By forcefully scrolling past the garbage and strictly clicking on my local out groups, I'm slowly training the algorithm to basically leave me alone with it. I'm not interested. But I do notice that every so often, the trap is always there when you're least expecting it. It's waiting to see if you'll slip up and take a bite. I recently read a report from a former high-ranking executive who left Meta, Facebook, or whatever the heck, stating that up to 90% of the engagement and content on it is completely fake or manipulated. 9 out of 10 things you look at are completely fake or manufactured. And I've also heard that they hire psychologists to help design the algorithm, narrow your feed down to the stuff that will suck you in and keep you on the app. The longer they keep you on the app, the more money they make. And look at where they're moving their capital. They are dumping billions into the AI infrastructure build out. I think they're spending the most, more than any other tech giant. You have to ask yourself why is there so much interest in there? They're aggressively expanding into predictive algorithms and speculative markets, gambling. Digital gambling. how much more degeneracy can you get? You know, there are people addicted to this stuff. It's designed to keep firing your brain on dopamine. So why are they doing that? Because they know the return on investment will be 100-fold in a very short period of time. They're already making money on it. Imagine how much more powerful these algorithms will be with AI steering the ship. From an investment standpoint, years ago, I actually bought into a position of Facebook when it was at a very dirt cheap, when it was being sold off. But as I watched the direction that the company was taking, I reached a point where I literally couldn't sleep at night knowing my retirement funds were backed by a machine. Thrives on social division and degeneracy. I sold the stock and I didn't care that I even took a financial loss on it. Getting that trash off my balance sheet was an investment in my peace of mind. I will never give them a dime. I don't care how much money I could be making with them. Same with alcohol and tobacco and even gambling companies. No company's perfect, but this is probably at the top of the shit pool. Speaking of gambling, it's one of the areas where meta is going. I hear the stats of younger generations getting more and more into this type of degenerate behavior. They're looking for the get quick rich schemes. You know, they're desperate. You know, people are living day to day. I hear on some of these speculative bets, I've never won them. I don't even know what they look like. But I hear there are bets on like how many times a certain character in a specific show will say the word shit on a new episode. And I think it's getting even more dangerous. I recently hear that there is gambling on how many delays will be caused by certain airlines at certain times of the day. Can you imagine how many things that we use daily will start to be manipulated because people are gambling on it? They're gambling on our lives. They're literally gambling with people's lives now. This isn't even remotely funny or entertaining if you're a victim to something that goes wrong. If this is true, that they're gambling on how many delays a certain airline might have at specific certain times, you're going to start seeing manipulation by insiders causing delays if they're behind any of the gambling. It's just, where's it going to stop there? People's lives are going to be at risk, I think, eventually. What's the takeaway from this retirement veil? It's hard to know where to start because this is an evil that I think may just be getting worse and it's impossible to stop. But if you're living abroad on a moderate budget, sometimes you have to dance with the devil to get the local logistics sorted out, like me. But you have to set strict rules or the app will consume your free time. So here are some of the rules that I'm following to survive this digital trap, Facebook in particular. I'm going to treat it like a hardware store. I get in, find the tool, the information I need, sell the item I need to sell, and then I close the app. No browsing, no scrolling, absolutely zero reels. 2, no emotional connections. I'm not adding friends. I'm not adding family. I absolutely refuse to open my retirement piece up to this digital conflicts again, or these political arguments again. People in my life want to know what I'm up to. They can contact me by email, or they can figure out a way. And then the third one is keep the shield up. I don't use X. I don't use Instagram, and I've never even looked at the TikTok. I don't even know what the logo looks like. We got our financial portfolios with spreadsheets and software and consultants. We calculate our safe withdrawal rates, but we have to guard our peace of mind. Don't let a free app full of 90% fake stuff and 99% trash steal the tranquility that you spent 30 years to build. So if you're out there building your own real-world retirement blueprint without the fake filters and without the social media noise, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give me a like on this video. And let me know in the comments, have you successfully managed to stay off social media in retirement? Or did local logistics force you back into an app you hate? This is Winding Down Chronicles here in Laos. Keep an eye on the numbers and remember to live the life that you built for them. And that's this week's retirement fail, so you don't have to make it. See you in the next one, everybody.
Yeah.